I hear it all the time. Kris, I really love Sarasota, but a friend told me not to buy a condo because I would probably regret it. And I think, how can that be? I mean, condo living is like living on vacation with resort style amenities and no maintenance. Are there really people who regret buying a condo in Sarasota? Well, the answer to that is sometimes. And people who say they regret buying a condo are people who didn't get enough information before they bought the condo. In this video, I'll break down some of the most common reasons people regret buying a condo, and more important, ways that you can avoid making the same mistake. Let's start with the thing that baffles buyers the most, and that's the monthly association fee. When people shop for a condo, they zero in on that dollar amount of what they have to pay every month. And when they compare different listings, they're naturally drawn to the ones with the lower amount, because if it's a lower price, it's got to be a better deal, right? Well, that may not necessarily be so. Low condo fees might mean that the association is not putting away enough money to fund its future repairs and reserves. I know of a condo right here in my Sarasota market whose buildings are located in a flood zone who has decided that they're not going to have flood insurance. Now, that's great for keeping their condo fees low, but if those buildings ever have a flood, they're in big trouble. So you definitely want to avoid that. On the flip side, there are condos that seem like they have high condo fees. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're overpriced or they're inefficient. Many associations here in the Sarasota market include living expenses in their monthly fees. Things like internet, water and sewer, pest control. And because those utilities are being shared by all the unit owners in the community, they're often based on a group rate or on a bulk rate pricing, which makes them a lot lower than they would be if the owners paid for that utility on their own. So the takeaway from that is, make sure that you ask what is included in the condo fees when you're looking at different listings, so you know that you're comparing apples to apples. And also make sure you're looking at the financials for the community, particularly their reserve schedule, to make sure that they're saving enough money for their repairs and replacements. Another thing that makes people regret buying a condo happens before they even close on the condo, and that is financing. Today's mortgage lenders are looking much more closely at the safety of the buildings and the financial health of the community, much more than they ever did. And that adds a layer of complication to an already complicated process. It is not unheard of for mortgage applications to be flat out denied based only on the review of the condo community and having nothing to do with the strength of the buyer. You should definitely watch my video called "Why Financing a Condo is Nothing Like Financing a House." In that video, I walk you through what the lenders are looking for in terms of a strong community. And I also talk about the fact that no matter how high your credit score, you're probably going to pay a higher interest rate for a mortgage on a condo than you will for a mortgage on a single family home. And I also talk about the fact that there are certain mortgage programs like FHA and VA where it's almost impossible to get a loan on a condominium. Another source of potential regret for buying a condo has nothing to do with money. It has to do with the suitability of the condo. It's very important to realize that finding a condo community that suits your style is just as important as finding an individual unit that offers you the kind of living space that you're looking for. So if you have a pet, if you want to rent your condo occasionally, maybe you have a Harley Davidson you want to park there, or you enjoy barbecuing on your lanai. You want to make sure that the condo that you're buying into will allow you to do those things. How do you do that? Well, you have to read the rules and regulations of the association. And the rules and regulations are part of the condo documents that you should receive and read before you buy your condo. And if you want a checklist for what documents you should get, download my free guide called Condo Document Checklist. The link to it is in the description below. Another complaint that I hear frequently from condo owners is that they wished they knew the temperament of the board of directors before they bought their condo. Some boards of directors are very controlling. Others are not controlling enough. Some play favorites with some unit owners over others. But how do you know what the temperament is of the board of directors before you even live there? Well, you ask for and read the last 12 months meeting minutes of the board of directors meetings. And by the way, that's one of the documents that's included in my checklist. You can learn a lot about a board's personality just by reading those notes. And another thing you should do is walk around the community. Talk to some of the other unit owners. They're usually pretty happy to tell you whether they like living there or not. So when you hear someone say, "I regret buying my condo," what they're really saying is, "I didn't know what I was buying before I bought my condo." But that doesn't have to be you. Work with a condo expert and someone who's a mortgage loan originator, like me, so that you're asking the right questions, you're reading the proper documents, and you're making a decision that you will not regret later. If you learned something in this video, click the like button and subscribe to my Crazy About Condos channel. I'm Kris Kesling-Hays, and I'll see you next time.